Thanks for watching the area's #1 Sunday night news. Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News, reported by John Siegenthaler.
Good evening, everyone. Secretary of State Colin Powell will head for the Middle East tonight on a mission to try to bring an end to the violence. But there were no signs today that the Israelis and Palestinians are any closer to a resolution. In fact, there were more clashes in the West Bank, where at least 14 Palestinians were killed. There are reports that Israeli forces are firing rockets at the Jenin refugee camp early Monday morning Israel time. And fighting also broke out on Israel's border with Lebanon. NBC's Shelley Smith reports from Tel Aviv.
One day after Israel promised to accelerate its military offensive in the West Bank, the war rages on. A gun battle in the narrow streets and in the skies above Nablus. Casualties litter the ancient alleyways. The Israeli army says fighting at the Jenin refugee camp will end soon, but they aren't leaving.
They were actually using hundreds of explosion devices, of booby traps, of certain explosives on the roads, in sewage holes and so on and so on. And actually they were sniping at us like hell.
Israel's chokehold on the West Bank sparked outrage in Gaza, where thousands of Hamas supporters took to the streets, chanting death to Israel, promising to avenge the deaths of 6 Hamas fighters, including a bomb maker killed Saturday. The Israeli assault has claimed innocent lives as well. Prime Minister Ariel Sharon has made it clear he plans to finish what he started.
We are fully cognizant of the American wish to have this operation end quickly. We have to arrest a large number of terrorists, confiscate weapons.
Palestinian officials dismissed the Israeli position as rhetoric.
It's very clear that Sharon will continue to defy, to reject Bush's pleas.
And while the Israeli army sweeps through the West Bank, Israelis living along the Lebanese border were evacuated today because of cross-border clashes with Hezbollah guerrillas. One place that is quiet, the holy city of Bethlehem, where a curfew kept Christians from attending Sunday services. Israeli forces are still in a standoff with Palestinians hiding in the Church of the Nativity.
No, I think it's really very bad that people cannot come to pray, because I think, especially at this time.
So this Sunday, a day of worship for Christians, there was a call to prayer, but the pews are largely empty. Shelley Smith, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
As Secretary of State Powell searches for a peaceful solution to the Middle East crisis this week, he will also face the growing anti-American sentiment now being expressed in the Arab world. NBC's Nora O'Donnell reports.
Today, Powell, in an interview on NBC's Meet the Press, was downplaying expectations even before he departed.
It's going to be a difficult trip. I am not going to come back at the end of this trip with a peace treaty in hand, and I'm not even sure I'll have a ceasefire in hand. But that will be my goal.
Powell's quest for a ceasefire could be crippled by several stumbling blocks. Today, for the first time, Powell said he would meet face-to-face with Yasser Arafat, but only if the Palestinian leader agrees to denounce the suicide bombings, a condition Arafat has resisted.
If circumstances permit, if the opportunity presents itself, I would try to see Chairman Arafat.
Another roadblock to peace, Israel's tanks and troops, which have not let up their offensive in Palestinian-controlled cities.
The manner in which they have gone about defending themselves in this operation opens us up to new instabilities and new insecurities and new threats in the long term for Israel and for the region.
Pro-Palestinian protests have erupted across the Arab world. Today, tens of thousands marched in the Moroccan capital of Rabat, just hours before Powell's arrival to meet with Arab leaders to urge them to put pressure on the Palestinians.
Our Arab friends have got to work with them as well, too, to tell them this must stop, this must cease. We have to move forward.
One leader who won't stop, Saddam Hussein, who today said he'll continue to send $25,000 to each family of the Palestinian suicide bombers. The Iraqi president even praised his former archenemy, Iran, for sending arms to the Palestinians and vowed to fight any future U.S. attack. President Bush today did not respond to Hussein, but British Prime Minister Tony Blair, in his strongest signal yet, said he would back U.S. military action against Iraq.
To allow weapons of mass destruction to be developed by a state like Iran without let or hindrance would be grossly to ignore the lessons of September the 11th.
Powell's trip is taking on a make-or-break urgency as there is growing concern in the Bush administration that violence in Israel is brewing a dangerous instability in the Middle East. Nora O'Donnell, NBC News, the White House.
And the conflict in the Middle East will be on the agenda as Congress returns to Washington this week after the holiday recess. As NBC's Joe Johns reports, the White House is feeling some congressional pressure to choose sides in this dispute.
The White House approach, criticizing both sides while issuing a demand for Ariel Sharon to withdraw troops from the West Bank without delay, is getting mixed reactions from members of the president's party on Capitol Hill.
I think that it's asking Sharon a lot, really, when he is moving in self-defense to eliminate suicide bombers, to withhold on that very important matter.
Some Republican conservatives have called on the president to flatly choose sides with Israel. Issuing a harsh assessment last week of the Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat, the House Majority Whip Tom DeLay, on the day before the president announced plans to send Secretary of State Colin Powell to the Middle East.
So we should support Israel as they dismantle the present Palestinian leadership that foments violence and fosters hate.
Still, hardliners are choosing their words carefully, while a past critic of the president is actually voicing support for the current Middle East approach.
I think that the president is trying to broker a peace settlement here, which only the United States can do.
Some experts say the two-pronged White House position is necessary because failure to demand Israeli withdrawal would be seen by the Arab world as a mistake.
They're seeing a lot of Palestinian casualties, tanks rolling over houses. That is really inflaming public opinion to the point where it's going to be hard for the secretary to achieve something unless withdrawal commences.
With the administration risking failure to get results, members of both parties will continue to weigh in on the issues, though well aware that right now the U.S. is the best hope for any negotiated solution. Joe Johns, NBC News, Washington.
Now to Afghanistan, where today marks 6 months since the beginning of the U.S. military campaign known as Operation Enduring Freedom. And while Allied forces appear to have won the war there, keeping the peace isn't easy. NBC's Ned Colt reports from Kabul.
Peacekeepers keeping a weary eye on the Afghan capital. In recent months, the British-led 18-nation security force has been fired on 6 times, most recently last night, when a Chinese-made rocket landed about 200 yards from a barracks. Fortunately for the peacekeepers, it was a dud and never exploded.
We take the incident extremely seriously, and we will be reviewing our security posture very carefully in the light of this incident, and assessing in particular the type of weapon system that's been used against us.
And trying to determine who might be behind such attacks. Kabul is a capital of intrigue, and there are fears there may be efforts underway to destabilize the government. Interim Prime Minister Hamid Karzai has renewed calls for the 4,800-strong force known as ISAF to expand its size and extend its reach beyond the capital. In the rest of the country, there's only a scattering of poorly armed government troops. Feuding warlords vie for power across much of the country.
Well, the last week, I've had numerous meetings with people from the provinces. Almost everybody is asking again for more ISAF forces.
Incidents like today's unearthing of bodies in the town of Bamiyan, west of Kabul, will likely renew those demands. Bamiyan is best known for its centuries-old giant sculptures of the Buddha, bombed into rubble by the Taliban a year ago. Now townsfolk say they've uncovered 3 mass graves containing the bodies of villagers killed by the Taliban late last year. The United Nations sent a team to investigate today, but will only confirm that bodies have been found. No word yet on how many or who they are. Whatever the outcome, it will only serve to increase tensions in a country still trying to get past 23 years of conflict. Ned Colt, NBC News, Kabul.
Still to come on NBC Nightly News, important health news tonight. Plus, baby boom, sextuplets born in Kansas. And this question, is science doing too much to help couples conceive?
lap of luxury. Just log on to Tonkin.com and shop our huge selection for the car you love without ever leaving the Lazy Boy.
Cable misconception number 1.
Cable is expensive.
Not with our Total TV offer. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME now, and you'll get our full lineup for less than $2 per day for the first 6 months. Misconception number 2.
There's nothing I like to watch.
With Total TV, you'll get over 200 channels. News, music, sports, kids shows, movies, plus additional channels of every premium service. See exclusive blockbuster movies and innovative original series on Showtime. And check out HBO for box office hits, plus award-winning originals you can't see anywhere else. Misconception number 3.
Installation costs too much.
Not true. With our Total TV offer, you'll get free professional installation on 2 TVs. Get over your cable misconceptions and get in on this incredible deal. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME now for the Total TV offer from AT&T Broadband.
Subway has a new bread made with Daphne you guys' honey and his oats.
Oh, whoa. That can't be good. There's one right there.
Hey, where you going? Subway's this way.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Kelly, Mr. Honey and Mr. Oat.
Subway's new Honey Oat on Wheat starts with tasty wheat bread. Then we coat it with honey and oats and bake it all together.
Subway, eat fresh!
They're fresh baked, and on April 15th, they're free. That's right. Monday, April 15th, come down to Subway and get your own free fresh baked cookie.
Tuesday, a young girl blindfolded and dumped into a shallow grave. Brutal kidnapping caught on tape or just a game? Dateline Tuesday, 10/9 Central on NBC.
A population explosion to report tonight in one Midwestern town. The number of people living there grew a full 50% in one day following the birth of sextuplets. NBC's Virginia Cha tonight on the remarkable delivery and the questions it raises.
The tiny town of Rago, Kansas. Population 12. That is until one couple's baby boom. Sextuplets. 3 boys, 3 girls, all between 2 and 4 pounds, born at a Wichita hospital 9 weeks early. Doctors say they're doing well, despite the early delivery by cesarean section, out of fear for the health of one of the babies.
The ability of the womb to support that baby to continue to grow and do well was not happening. And so we needed at this point to proceed with delivery to safeguard that baby.
As in the case of many multiple births, parents Sandra and Eldon Hedrick used fertility drugs. The birth of a child is always a reason to celebrate, but many fertility experts say cases like this, so many babies at once, are also a cause for concern. Dr. Zev Rosenwax, professor of reproductive medicine at Cornell University's Weill Medical College, says with multiples come the risk of premature delivery, which can lead to respiratory and neurological problems.
These are devastating problems potentially, and the child may not do well and may suffer from it for the rest of their life.
Yet the number of multiples has multiplied. A study by the Centers for Disease Control shows in 1980, the birth of more than 1,300 multiples, 3 or more babies. By 1997, more than 5 times as many. And more than 80% of those a result of assisted reproductive technology or fertility drugs.
In spite of seemingly having a appropriately controlled cycle, you may still get 4 or 5 babies. But for the most part, when you do it carefully, one should be able to avoid the high-order multiple pregnancies.
Until methods become foolproof, premature medical miracles must rely on more technology to help them survive until they're strong enough to leave the hospital. Something 4-year-old Aubriana is looking forward to as she waits for her 6 little brothers and sisters to come home. Virginia Cha, NBC News, New York.
2 major health stories tonight. A new report on Alzheimer's disease shows that a single shot of a specific antibody might provide the key to an Alzheimer's vaccine. The research by scientists in the U.S. and France was done on mice, and while they say they were surprised by their results, a human vaccine is a long way off. And there's word tonight that aspirin may reduce your chances of developing colon cancer. A study of 1,100 Americans says 1 low dose of aspirin a day, the same dose many people take to reduce their risk of heart disease, lowers the recurrence of polyps removed during routine colonoscopies. A remarkable scene in London today as the nation prepares for the funeral of the Queen Mother. Tens of thousands of Britons in a line 4 miles long waited up to 12 hours to pay their respects to the Queen Mother, who died last Saturday at 101. Officials will leave open Westminster Hall until 4 o'clock Tuesday morning, just hours before the funeral, to accommodate the crowds. As of tonight, 200,000 people had already paid their respects. Her daughter, Queen Elizabeth, will deliver a televised eulogy tomorrow.
Feeling like you need to do some spring cleaning? How about making your home more attractive with some bright new furniture? Actually, you can do both by coming to Furniture Row Outlet's huge spring clearance sale. Right now, we're dropping our prices on everything in our stores to clean out excess inventory, discontinued merchandise, and one-of-a-kind items. Plus, for a limited time, get no payments and no interest until October 2002. Hurry in today and clean up on the bargains while the choices are good at Furniture Row Outlet's spring clearance sale. 3540 Commercial Street, Southeast, next to Fred Meyer's.
Feel like $1 million on your wedding day without spending a fortune. Amore Bridal Salon is the #1 discount bridal salon in the Northwest. Others may claim the best price, but we prove it with our low price guarantee. But don't take our word for it. See for yourself. We guarantee the lowest price in the Northwest on our line of gowns, or yours is free. Amore Bridal. Everything you need for your wedding, including the chapel.
Would you like your home to be more energy efficient? Upgrade your old heating and cooling system to a new one from Trane.
Hi, I'm Cliff Mather with Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning. Right now is a great time to give us a call and reduce your energy costs. We'll send a trained comfort specialist to your home for a free evaluation of your heating and cooling needs. We'll help you save money and enjoy comfortable temperatures year-round.
When it comes to comfort and savings, it's hard to stop a Trane.
Monday on NBC Nightly News. How far would you go to stop the aging process? Would you consider doing this with poisons?
It's a matter of looking the best you can for as long as you can.
It may work, but what are the risks? Our special series, Living Longer, Living Better. Don't miss NBC Nightly News Monday.
Wednesday on an all-new Ed.
You've been served.
A best friend accused.
Sexual harassment? This is serious stuff.
Now Ed will take a case.
You used to flirt a little. Did he ask you for sex at all?
That could destroy a career and end a friendship.
You really don't trust me, do you? What am I supposed to think, Mike?
All-new Ed, NBC Wednesday.
NBC Thursday. What's better than one episode of Friends?
Okay, I know this. Give me a second.
How about an hour of Friends with Sean Penn?
Aren't you gonna give me a kiss?
Then it's an all-new Will and Grace. Will makes some macho new friends.
I think I'm their gay mascot.
And if you mess with Will, you mess with them.
This guy giving you trouble because you're gay? You better learn a little tolerance, buddy.
Ow! He tapped me pointedly. Plus, an all-new Just Shoot Me. It's fearless. It's funny.
It's delicious.
New comedy, NBC Thursday.
Installed it himself.
Fascinating. Even Coco can do it.
Stay online and get the call. It's so easy, even Coco can do it.
My lawn is really by pride and joy. I know it's weed-free. I know it's dandelion-free. I know that for a fact because I hate dandelions. But every time I'm out here working on it, my neighbor Lana says, how do you get rid of your dandelions? I do it by using Scott's Turf Builder Plus 2. The light granule sticks to that wet leaf much easier than a heavy granule, which would fall off. If it doesn't stick, it just doesn't work. Apply it, sticks to the leaf, Zappo. No more dandelions. Actually, to tell you the truth, she's trying to keep up with me. Uh-oh, I think she heard me. I think it's the greatest product ever made.
Because you work for yourself now. Because you're out on your own. Because you've given up company benefits to work at home. That doesn't mean you have to pay a lot for health coverage. Call Kaiser Permanente and we'll show you how to get quality medical care for a lot less than you'd expect. You shouldn't have to take chances with the health of you and your loved ones. That's why we created Personal Advantage. Starting as low as $84 a month, you'll have all these benefits, including hospitalization, preventive care, and no deductibles. and a plan that puts medical decisions in the hands of doctors, not insurance administrators. Call this number now for your free information kit to get the coverage you can't do without at a price you can afford. Call today because you deserve a health plan that works as hard as you do. Available only to Oregon residents in the Kaiser Permanente service area. Kaiser Permanente, in the hands of doctors.
Burger, fries, and a Coke. Don't bother me. I'm eating. The Carl's Jr. Superstar.
First, it was a fuel leak. Now it's the weather threatening tomorrow's scheduled launch of the Space Shuttle Atlantis. NASA says high winds could keep the crew on the ground. When they do lift off, the astronauts will deliver the newest piece of the International Space Station and will be the first visitors there since December. In Colombia tonight, investigators are searching for clues after a devastating bomb blast. 12 people were killed, more than 60 injured when a car bomb exploded on a crowded street in a popular entertainment district about 45 miles outside Bogota. No one claimed responsibility for the blast, but police suspect the country's main rebel group is behind it. More now on the crisis in the Middle East and a controversial tool of war used in the conflict called assassination. Both sides employ assassins, but the work of Israel's secret intelligence agency, the Mossad, is legendary. Tonight, a look at 2 killings and the effect they had on the region. October 26, 1995. Fatih Shakaki, the founder of Islamic Jihad, is gunned down in the streets of Malta. The Israelis call this form of rough justice targeted killings.
The only moral and legal reason for targeted killing is trying to stop terrorist attacks.
Shakaki's crime, according to the Israelis, setting down the guidelines for the use of explosives in suicide bombings.
Our jihad, our struggle against the occupation, against this accord will continue.
2 men on a motorcycle, 1 gunman, point blank, 6 shots to the head. Israel has never acknowledged responsibility for Shakaki's death. Experts note, since his death, the Islamic Jihad has been ineffective.
They did want to retaliate against Israel. They couldn't.
Israel was not finished. 3 months later, another hit is ordered. This time, the effect would be less certain. Yahya Ayash, dubbed the engineer, built bombs. Israeli sources estimate his bombs killed between 50 to 75 people, with hundreds more wounded. The Gaza Strip, January 5th, 1996. Assassins catch up to the engineer.
They knew he had a mobile phone. Now, the question is they had to get that mobile phone and doctor it. So they were able to slip somebody into the house who was an Arab, who for money was prepared to do this.
Agents reportedly placed 50 grams of explosives in the engineer's phone.
There is a rumor that the Israeli assassins actually had called him up and said, Mr. Ayash, your time is up.
And as he does so, the trigger goes off, and he's mine, it's his head, the engineer.
Islamic militants believed they knew who did it.
We are sure that he was killed by an Israeli hand.
Not all observers are sure this assassination was effective.
The aim of killing him as the chief bomb maker for Hamas was basically to end suicide bombings. In point of fact, there were 4 suicide bombings in the immediate aftermath of this. Things got a lot worse.
And they haven't gotten any better. In the last 18 months, Palestinians have carried out at least 32 suicide attacks, and Israeli assassins continue to mark their targets. Much more on all of this in a 1-hour special called MSNBC Investigates Assassins' Work. Tonight, 7 Pacific on MSNBC on cable. When we continue, one of the last towns in America where you still can't make a phone call.
Hi, I'm Laurel
reporter. News Channel 8 is committed to a beautiful Oregon. We invite you to join the Great Oregon Beach Cleanup. Just pick a cleanup site and show up on Saturday, April 6th. For locations, contact Solve or visit kgw.com.
Only on Today, Tony Blair, exclusive, and George Bush, exclusive. When the world is watching, the big interviews are on Today on NBC.
Gasoline prices continue to rise. A new survey out tonight shows prices have risen an average of 8 cents a gallon in the past 2 weeks. The average price for regular is just under $1.43, but prices are as high as $1.65 in San Francisco. Finally tonight, we go to a place where even E.T. would have trouble phoning home. A small town in Washington state that wants to be connected to the rest of the world. Here's NBC's Bob Dodson.
Out here, rivers sparkle like winter stars. And the air smells like it was just made. Denny Boyd grew up in asphalt meadows, dreaming of such a place. So 15 years ago, he left city life to open a store in the mountains of western Washington. But he neglected to notice the small print in his dream.
This is the South Fork of the Stillaguamish. I was going to tell you that it was a Native American term meaning no phone service, but...
You probably wouldn't believe it, but Silverton, Washington is one of the last towns in America where you cannot make a phone call.
Bill Gates made the statement that there's absolutely no reason that everybody in the world shouldn't have internet access. If I can go online from Zimbabwe, why can't I make a 911 call from Silverton, Washington?
It may look remote, but it's only 65 miles northeast of Seattle.
Everyone would just assume that that's close to a big city, you'd have telephone service. And it's just really the end of the road, and they got left out.
Even though 250,000 cars drive by Boyd's store every year.
Robert 81, radio check.
In emergencies, drivers rely on the sheriff's radio Denny's wife, Diane, keeps on their side porch.
There's times when the radio won't work at all. People would come here, and we'd end up having to drag them and their bloody body parts down to their lot. And that's not that fun. If the Boyds aren't home, there are a couple of options. Climb 4,500 feet to the top of Mount Forgotten and try to find a cell phone signal, or drive 20 minutes to the nearest payphone. Sometimes it's so clogged with coins, the only call it will take is to the phone company. And then you wait an hour or so for someone to come out and empty it.
Silverton did have a phone service once, a century ago, when nearby gold mines made it a boom town. But the phones left in the 1940s, when the mines played out.
How are you doing, Jerry?
Really great. We came to get all the news from you.
Oh, really?
The 50 families who still live here have been trying to get that service back.
They were going to charge each person $10,000 to $15,000 apiece.
Because Silverton now sits in a national forest, so phone lines would have to be buried for 11 miles. The federal government has a pool of utility taxes that covers the cost of extending phone lines to rural areas. Even so, the profits here would be so small, most big phone companies didn't want to bother.
I'm the phone man. No, not just kidding.
Jim Olson and his wife, Jean, have lived in Silverton for 48 years.
Could I borrow your phone? No, just kidding.
He worked all his life for a phone company.
And you don't have a phone?
Yeah, it was an escape. It was one way I could get away from my boss.
You could call in sick if you had a phone, though.
Well, that's true.
This fall, they may finally get one. A tiny Seattle phone company called Beaver Creek got a government grant to do the work. With the subsidy, basic phone service in Silverton will cost just $30 a month.
Good morning for that ranger station.
So Diane Boyd won't have to work at the ranger station 10 miles from home just to hear a phone ring.
Very exciting when the phone rings.
Laying the lines is scheduled to begin this spring after the snow melts. By fall, the Boyds could get their first dinnertime call from a telemarketer.
I think there's something on there. You can just pull out the plug, can't you, if you really don't want to have to hear anything? Isn't there? It does not work like that anymore. It has been a while since we've had a phone, so...
I'm in Vermont right now.
Oh, they'll get the hang up of it. Bob Dodson, NBC News, Silverton, Washington.
And that is NBC Nightly News for this Sunday. Tom Brokaw will be reporting from Los Angeles tomorrow night. And I'll see you back here next weekend, if not before.
NBC News, America's news leader.
When minutes mean millions, Maria Bartiromo.